Hello, welcome to Trees and Clay. This is a story about a lamp. Not this lamp, although this lamp is in the story. In fact, right now it is. This lamp is made of walnut, and it lives on a dresser that's made of walnut. A walnut case with maple drawer fronts. Pretty maple drawer fronts. This lamp and this dresser were a gift to my daughter when she was born some years ago. She was impatient and came a little early, and I had only the lamp done at the time. But she uses it every day. This is a cherry dresser for my son, with maple drawer fronts as well, and other fine details that the kids can slowly learn to enjoy as they appreciate the piece and the gift that's been given. Even though my son was mechanically extracted on a predetermined date, his dresser was not built on time, nor his lamp. This is his lamp now. I must fix it. So here's a piece of cherry. I really like this section right here. I need to liberate it. So I have a little slidey thing here on the saw to keep the log from rolling, and I'll slice out that section. And like there, we've safely cut the log. It's a pretty piece of wood. I should have just put a light bulb on it now, saved the time, but then where's the video? So I'll identify centers on both ends to maximize the use of the material. Bring it over to the lathe here, and wisdom tells me to knock this bark off, but instead I just hammer this blob jammer in and away we go turning. As I bring up the tailstock, it sinks in further than I expect it to. I scratch my head, but move on unwisely. As I begin the turning, hoping that I can do something cool with this cool-looking bark, it begins to rain bark. And I know that nothing cool can be done with this bark anymore. So I tear it off in a responsible manner, and then proceed to wood turn, because wood turning is just so fun. I need to make a tenon on this end, which I do. Undercut it right there. And then as I get to this portion right here, the wood is just crumbling away. I go to look at it. It's just too rotten. The entire thing is wet and slinging water all over the shop. I need to restart. Truth is, I turned all the way to this point because wood turning is so fun before I made that decision. So I slap on the helmet cam and grab a piece of wood that I know is dry and not rotten. And this varietal is YEW, the wood. So we get it mounted back on the lathe as fast as we can and catch up to that tenon moment. Flip it around and we'll turn it to round. A very different turning experience. Much drier. True up the end, and it's time to drill for the cord. I use a regular drill bit mounted in the tailstock, go as far as that is reasonable, and then a handheld longer drill bit until that pokes through at the other end into a void in the chuck. Now I make a tenon on this side just to flip around. And before I clamp down on that tenon, I center it with the tailstock because that handheld drill bit did not run true. You can see the eccentricity right now in this perfectly focused shot. Now I flip that tenon from an outie to an innie, which will make this the bottom of the lamp. Finally, to expand the chuck into that recess, you can turn the form of the lamp. And this is just fun wood turning. I think I'm looking for some sort of bottle-ish type shape, but with a lot of weight at the base to make it a safe lamp to not topple. If you've never tried wood turning before, it's even more fun than it looks. Trying to make a smooth, flowing form here. I think we've crept up on about what I was thinking about. Now I'm using a spindle gouge here to try and slice where some fibers are being a little tricky. You can see there's a lot going on here. And so as to not have those bark inclusions come out at me, I'm putting some super glue on them. I'm going to seal everything up. I'll sand through a whole bunch of grits. Look how pretty that wood is. But it's a soft wood. And as Richard Raffin points out, there's some woods that have to be sliced to have definition. So on the two ridges here, I slice back again because the sandpaper has rounded those sharp corners and would like that definition. There we go. For finish, watch this. This is a chunk of beeswax. I'll let it rough on, and then with a paper towel, watch as the friction flows that beeswax into the pores of the wood. Ooh, it smells good in the shop when you do this. It has just the nicest sheen when it's done. It's such a natural finish. Well, that's done with the turning. So now it's time to put the lamp together. Now instead of going and buying lamp parts, I take apart other lamps. That's why the lamp up on my son's dresser is even there. It's because it was inexpensive at Goodwill. So I'll take apart the parts and see what needs to happen. Not many people know this, but the lamp was actually invented in the year 1956 by the then young explorer Sir Walter Raleigh. He turned to his good friend Amerigo Vespucci and said, "Hey, Spooch." "Yeah, Wally? I think I have an idea." And really, the rest is history. It's just Spooch and Wally. So as I plumb the lamp with this wire, little threaded bit in there, I'll put some super glue here, because it's not the tightest of fits. This screws down nicely. Very satisfying to do. Now when you wire up a lamp, it matters which wire goes where. Because on an outlet where I come from, the prong that is shorter is the hot wire. So I've used my electrical tester here. When the numbers changed, I had the correct wire. That gets wired to the gold-colored screw. There we go, we've snapped it together. So that's the party end done. Now it's time for the business end. We need to make a little notch for the cord so that this can sit flat on a table. It's fun to chisel away at this. I've got the lamp mounted upside down in a vise wrapped in a t-shirt from college, because that's what they're good for now. And I'll file this to round with a special lamp cord file. I didn't expect to be back at the lathe, but here we are. A little piece of cardboard in a jam chuck. I've already measured, put a line on there, and cut this off with the skew. It finally breaks free. And now there's a custom cardboard plug. I couldn't find my stapler for the life of me, but thankfully I found a very tiny ball peen hammer. This is probably a safer method anyway. Time to whack, whack, whack this flat. Very satisfying. Now we're very close. We just need a channel. So grab the nearest overkill Japanese chisel, and through precise movements, located directly over the sensitive electrical conductor that's already been committed to this project, we take many sharp tools and trench through this cardboard plug. This is how they do it in lamp school, I'm told. I'm going to glue this in as a bit of a pad to protect the table, and just some fit and finish. And everybody knows that adhesives do best with a bit of hammering. That's definitely how that works. On goes the lampshade, and you know how lamps work. That's probably why you clicked on this video. And only now do I see a bit of a silly face in the grain. Yoink. Won't be needing that anymore. Well, thank you for watching. There's only one thing left to do. Hey, buddy.
What?
Do you see those two lamps? Which one do you like better?
I like that one.
Which one?
I like the wooden one.
Oh, perfect. Here's your candy.
Thanks.
I love you. Thank you for watching.